I was super excited because it's something that I've always wanted to do.
Everyone was so happy there.
It definitely made me thankful for what I've been given.
Instead of just being like an acquaintance, we were like best friends.
Well, my brother went on a mission trip when he was end of grade 9. So then I saw that and I saw all the photos from his experience and I kind of wanted to do the same thing. So then after his trip, I started talking to Ken Forbes, who's the head of Sparrowway, and he's also the guy who took us on the trip, and started talking with my dad, and we started to talk to Liz, Christina, Jamie, and their dads, just to see if they had an interest in the trip in general.
Chunny came up to me and my dad and said, like, do you want to go on this trip to Haiti? It's a mission trip and we're going to go build houses. It's going to be like a life-changing experience and it's going to be really widen your eyes about what goes on in the world.
When Liv first asked me about it, I was super excited because it's something that I've always wanted to do. I think there's a lot of people in need around the world, and I think a lot of girls our age, my age, don't realize, and it was an opportunity that a lot of girls don't get to have, so I was super excited about it.
I don't know how it exactly all came together behind the scenes. I think my dad did most of that stuff. But then end of grade 9, I don't know what day we left. Just beginning of July, we all just met at the airport, got on the plane, and next thing I knew, we were in Haiti.
I was kind of scared at first, I think. I didn't know what to expect going there, because like the media doesn't do it justice, like what you see on TV and everything. But yeah, I remember being it was really hot when we landed and got off the plane, and we were all in like sweatpants and sweaters because the plane's cold, and we're sitting there in line going through like customs and stuff, sweating because it was so hot. But yeah, like first seeing like what we saw, yeah, like TV doesn't do it justice at all.
As soon as we got in, there was just people everywhere and nothing was exactly clean. And I remember seeing a lot of tourists, but at the same time, I couldn't tell if they were tourists or not, or if they were like missionaries or people like us just going to help the other people there. It was just really interesting to see a developing country like that. I'd never been to one before, so obviously it was just a whole new experience.
And when we got to our hotel, everything was okay. It was like a pretty secure area. But the next day, the hotel would actually end up being burnt through the riots that were happening during our trip. So we left the hotel, obviously, the day before, and we went to our flight, which was to one of the outer areas of Haiti. And we ended up landing on a grass runway in like one of those small propeller planes. And we didn't even know if we'd have enough fuel to get the last group over to the town. And when we got there, we met up with these people that pretty much had built up the area around, and we were gonna help them keep building up the schools and the houses for people.
I remember there was these big concrete blocks, like they were massive and they were super duper heavy, and there was just a stack of them kind of on one side of this compound, and then there was a huge trail that led all the way to, of course, because they couldn't put it any closer to the house, but there was a huge trail that led to the actual site that we were building the house. So the whole community around this one house actually came and helped us. So they were so excited that the one family was gonna get a house. So we had all these kids and adults coming, and the kids were picking up 3 blocks and putting them on their heads and walking down this long path. Meanwhile, me and the girls are struggling to pick up 1 block in our hands with gloves on and carry it to the site. So it was kind of really cool to see the whole community come together to build this one home for someone that they may not have even known. We didn't get to actually see the full house built from start to finish. We just kind of helped with the base and whatever, but yeah, it was really a lot of fun. Hard day's work for sure.
We were building concrete floors for houses because the families were sleeping on the dirt floors, and it's really bad for their hygiene and they get really sick from doing that. So we're building concrete floors. We helped build a house for a family. It was mainly like to bring food. The company we went with, Sparrowway, does a lot of food programs.
We did a few feeding centers, so they would send food down, and then it was a lot of rice and beans and that type of stuff. So they would cook it, and then we would get it and collect it and give it to all the kids and the adults in the villages and just hand it out and sit with them and talk with them.
Where we had a lot of fun was we went to the market in Haiti, and we bought goats for the family that we were building the house for, and so that they can get food from the goat and then, get money off of it. So that was fun. Yeah, they're really excited, I think. I think they had 2 small kids, so they were excited to see the goat. But yeah, the goats roam free around Haiti, so it's not uncommon to see a goat, but they were really thankful, I think, and grateful that they had the goat to help them out now.
I think it just, if these people can come, it wasn't even helping the people in their community get the house there was no benefit for them to help these people, you know what I mean? So I think it was kind of cool for us to see that, and we were like, okay, if these people are able to help their community, we should be able to help, our own community and give more to our community, even though maybe we're not gonna benefit from it at all.
Seeing how content they were with what they had and how they embraced everything around them. And even us coming there, they embraced us as part of their culture and welcomed us and just gave us everything they could.
The kid in charge there, Kelly, he's missing.
Most of them have never seen a person like me before. Yeah, they don't have internet or anything, so they only know the people around them. So yeah, it was interesting. They loved my hair because it gets really light in the summer. But they've never seen lighter hair or anything like that. So yeah, it was interesting to see how they reacted to seeing us. And it was funny. Olivia had braces while we were in Haiti, and they're trying to touch them and take them off her teeth because they don't know what they are. But yeah, it was cool to interact with the kids and everything.
They're just so happy. I don't understand. We can be living in Burlington, we can be so upset over the littlest things and be so fortunate. And these people they're sleeping on the ground and they just walk around. They're so charismatic and they just have the biggest smiles on their faces, and it was super amazing to see that.
I feel like all the dads were sort of close before, just from having us been playing on the same team for so long and all together. But it was definitely insightful to see how much closer they got, and just them bonding over the experience of helping others, especially.
I think it was good that our dads came with us. Yeah, no, it was good. We had a lot of laughs with them and everything. So I think going with my dad and having him see it as well kind of changed our perspective, I guess. So the both of us coming home and kind of seeing it together, we want to help out more, we want to donate to more places and everything like that. So
I mean, you can talk about it in 2 different ways. I think the dads had a really fun time with each other, and I think I just saw a video my dad sent me, and it was Chunny and my dad Frank, and they took a selfie video with each other, and I think it was just the funniest thing ever. But they had been close for a really long time, and I think Paul and Mike, who I appreciate so much because I've known them for so long, it was really fun to have them on the trip as well. And I think the dads all got along really well and had a really great time together. It definitely brought them closer together for sure. And in terms of my dad and myself, I think it was I mean, my dad's one of my best friends, and so it was super cool to, you know, experience all these things with him and have all these memories that I'll never forget with my dad. I think it was super important to me.
It definitely made me thankful for what I've been given, and just seeing the difference in life and the difference in life experiences. I got a new insight on how much I've been given and how lucky I am to live here in Canada and to be able to play hockey. The people down in Haiti, they don't have the opportunity for any of these sports. The one day we went in outside and we played volleyball with them. They were playing on a concrete floor, but they were diving all over. They were still having fun. So it's just kind of a difference in perspective, and having that new perspective kind of changes how I think about my life and being thankful for everything that I've been given instead of just taking things for granted.
I knew it was going to be something that was going to be eye-opening. I felt like I don't live a sheltered life, but I also haven't seen firsthand the need that there is around the world. And I was super excited to see what I could do to help and be part of the change that needs to happen. So yeah, it was important for me to get out there and see and help and, you know, get my hands dirty and really do whatever I could to help the communities that needed my help.
It was important for me to do this because I was like living in my own bubble, living here in Canada. So when I actually got there, it was pretty shocking. Like you see it on TV and you see documentaries about it, but once you're there and you're in real life, it's very different and it's very life-changing. And it was a great experience for me to get at such a young age because it totally changed my perspective on the world and how we treat everyone.
I think it's a great experience for sure, and it kind of opened my eyes to the world and what people really go through. Especially, like, I grew up in Burlington. I was super, obviously really lucky to have the life I have and, you know, have food whenever I want to have food and everything. So I think that was really important to go and to learn and understand what people go through that don't live like us, and realize that you can't really take things for granted, and because people have it way, way worse than we do.
The four of us, it definitely brought us closer together because it was just like a week of us hanging out together, and we just played cards for like every day, and we got food together, and we're like living together, and we were just very close for a whole week. And then we came back, and then we were still seeing each other at hockey, and it was like the dynamic had changed. So it was like, instead of just being like an acquaintance, we were like best friends.